Didn't we already have a fiduciary rule? Yes, there were fiduciary rules that applied to specified investments before the new DOL rule. In fact, you could say there were at least two. General securities laws required some financial sales professionals, but not others, to follow a fiduciary standard when it comes to investments in securities. And then there's ERISA. This law used to require a fiduciary standard for people who make decisions and give investment advice about retirement plans. And it still does. What's changed is the new regulation applies the fiduciary standard to more people. That is, to anyone who provides retirement investment advice as defined by the rule. So who's considered a fiduciary now? To be a fiduciary, a person has to get paid to provide retirement investment advice. The advice must be individualized for any of these people. A plan sponsor, like an employer with a retirement plan. A plan fiduciary, someone responsible for making decisions about a retirement plan. A plan participant, anyone with money invested in a retirement plan. A plan participant's beneficiary, someone who inherits a participant's investment. Or an IRA owner. This last part is crucial. Before the new rule, DOL didn't apply ERISA-like standards to IRAs, so many sales professionals working with IRAs didn't have to follow ERISA rules. A financial salesperson can be affiliated with a registered investment advisor, a broker-dealer, or an insurance company. To understand the difference between these types of advisors, let's look at their compensation. A sales professional who works for an RIA generally receives one or more of these: a fixed hourly fee for time spent on the client's account, a one-time fixed fee for a specific service, such as preparing a financial plan or portfolio allocation, or a percentage of assets under management. For example, for managing a $500,000 portfolio for a client, the professional might receive 1%, or $5,000 a year. Sales professionals who work for a broker-dealer or an insurance company generally get an upfront commission only, a one-time payment based on the percentage of the purchase price, or a smaller upfront commission plus trail commissions, which are annual payments calculated as the percentage of the account value. Under general securities laws, RIAs have to adhere to a fiduciary standard when dealing with security investments. Broker-dealers and insurance companies do not. They are subject to a less rigid suitability standard, which we'll talk about later. But under the new DOL regulation, anybody who provides investment advice to an IRA owner is subject to a fiduciary standard. Let's sum it up by looking at the before and after the new rule. Before, investment advice to retirement plans covered by ERISA was subject to a fiduciary standard. After, it still is. Before, investment advice from an RIA to an IRA investor was held to a fiduciary standard. After, it still is. The biggest change affects IRA owners using a commission-based professional who works for a broker-dealer or insurance company. Before, the professional was subject to a suitability standard, not a fiduciary standard. After, any professional who gives investment advice to an IRA investor is subject to a fiduciary standard. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to visit loma.org/DOL course for course downloads and access to the latest DOL news.